Hi. Hi guys, a very warm and fuzzy welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know that I haven't been on here for quite some time, child, but I'm finally back on here. Like I said on my vlog, school had me by the balls, but now that it's loosened its grip, we're back on the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time with you guys because I feel like I haven't said my gratitude to you guys, number one, for like the continuous support that you guys give on my channel. I think the last time I ever thanked you guys was when we hit 100 subscribers, and we're now at 400. That's quite a milestone. So thank you for everyone who has subscribed. Be sure to like the video at the end if you did like it, and comment something nice because I read and reply to every single one of my comments. Now without any further ado, let's get right into the story time. I'm having a cup of coffee, child, because I'm trying to be focused while I'm telling the story time. I tried to film the story time I think 2 times in Bram. One time I was having a savannah, and yeah, we didn't move far. we didn't even make it to the halfway mark. But I didn't post those ones because the lighting, everything was just working against me in Joburg, literally. But now that we're back here at home, let's have some coffee and try again. So this story time happened a little over a year ago. So it was I think it was the weekend of the 26th, 27th of October last year. So yeah, it's just a little over a year. I can't believe I did this a little over a year ago. This is so embarrassing. Literally the story time. But let me get right into it. So my father's side of the family was having tombstone unveilings for like 2 of our late family members, which I don't know. So it wasn't like too deep for me, but I still had to go because it was like a family thing, and you know, I wanted to go and see like my cousins and whatnot. So I remember that week I had fashion shows, and it was around writing time, so it was like exam season, but I did make a way to like be present to the family thing. So all of what I'm gonna say is like backstory. So we traveled late at night. I think we left in the AMs in Joburg, and we got there like it was 7 a.m. and around that time already it's time to get started, right? So more backstory, how my village is set up. You know how people sometimes, like someone's mom will be from KZN and their dad will be from Limpopo, and it would be like a long distance travel between the homes and stuff. I don't have that. Literally my mom and my dad's home are like 5-minute walk apart, like literally the coolest thing and like the best thing ever. So my mom's home, we'll call it the south, and then my dad's home, we'll call it the north, 5 minutes just like going up the hill. And then my grandma's home, my dad's mom's home, we'll call it the east. It's further down there and like maybe 10-minute walk. Yeah, it's the furthest away, so it's like a 10-minute walk, still very close. My mom was like, no, go to the north and go get ready. So I took my siblings, we went and got ready. So our church and where the graveyards are, how the village is set up, there's like a density of homes, and then there's one road leading through the village, just one major road leading through the village, and then there's like a density of houses on either side of the road. Then there's an area where there are no houses, and then it's just the road for like minute, 2 minutes. 2 minutes is long. A minute drive far, you go to the other side of the village. There are more houses on either side going. That's where the our church and the graveyards are. So went that side, so got ready, everything, went that side for all of that happens at the graveyards and everything, and then we went back to the east for lunch and all those things. This is still backstory. So remember how I said I had fashion shows and I was like really just tired and exhausted? So I walked all the way to the south because I knew that there was not a lot of people there and I could be able to just sleep and not be bothered. So the reason why I went to the south was at around 5, 6 until late, we were gonna have a braai in the north. This is where the story begins. So at my dad's home, everyone from the east was gonna move eventually to the north. That's where everything was gonna go on. So that's where the braais, the drinks, the the nice times was gonna be, right? So I went to the south to go sleep, and when I woke up I went straight to the north because I knew that that's where everyone should have been by that time. So it was around 5, and also the reason why I had to go there at 5 was we were gonna help myself and my cousins and my siblings and, you know, every one of the youngins. We were gonna help with like the giving out of food and drinks. So fine, I get there, right? We do all of that. I changed into the uniform shirt because you know how it be when you're black in these family things. You guys have to look uniform. So I changed into the shirt that they had gotten like for all of us, and we start giving out the food. Now we did that for like 3 hours, I think. At around 8, I think that's when we got done, and we could finally have our own plates of food and our own beverages. And myself and my 2 cousins, I'll just call them Lolo and Lily for the sake of this video, chilled by the front porch where everyone else was as well. And then we just chilled, and it was vibes for like 30 minutes, because after 30 minutes the music was cut. So we had a whole DJ and gazebos. It was an actual thing, like it was big. It was like a big proper bride type thing. There was a DJ with a DJ booth and all of these things. So at around 8:30 the music gets cut. How? That's weird.
And I think I go and ask my mom how to out, and then music, and then she tells me that like my mom and my dad thought that by that time, by like 8:30 going to 9, everything, all the festivities would have been done and there wouldn't be any people anymore. So that's the time that they paid the DJ for. And since it was that time, he booked himself another gig for after, so they couldn't like ask him to stay longer and like pay him to like play longer. He had to go, he had somewhere else to be.
So that means that party ifedile, because without music, what's there? You understand?
Now you could hear like some murmuring in between the crowd, and like people are like talking amongst themselves and everything.
And someone is like, what should I call this place? Las Vegas. Someone shouts, let's go to Las Vegas. Vibes. How are you in Las Vegas? Everyone agrees and everyone is like, yeah, Las Vegas, you understand? So it's in the village. Number 1, understand this, it's at night, it's around 9. It's in the village, 1 Apollo light that does shine fairly enough. We were all gonna walk to Las Vegas, right? So I turned to my cousin Lolo and Lily, and I'm like,
you guys don't leave me. I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna put my phone down because I'm not about to lose my phone tonight. Then I'm gonna get myself a roadie, and we are like all gonna walk together as a bunch alongside all these other people and like villages and friends and family and whoever else is gonna be going to Las Vegas.
They're like, great, we'll be right here. I go inside for 2 minutes and I bump into my other cousin, we'll call him Titi. I bump into Titi and Titi's like, how is that like? No, I'm like, no, everyone is going to Las Vegas, so get what you need to get yourself a drink for the road or whatever, and then we're gonna go to Las Vegas. Las Vegas is about 5 houses away from my home in the east, if you still remember, the south, the north, and the east, right? So it's quite far, hence the roadies. So I'm like, so maybe get yourself a drink or whatever, and we're gonna be apart. As I walk outside, guys, you'd swear there was never a party. You'd swear there was never anything. Everyone was gone. I get gone. There was no one. There was just a tent there, the gazebos that were there, and then bottles. I went in for 2 minutes, remember? Lele Lolo, gone. Everyone gone. It's fine, we'll catch up. It's in the village, it's safe enough. We'll catch up, right? So it's me and Titi at this point. So I'm like, oh, Titi, as we approach the gate, my aunt calls me by her car. So she's like, Koseho, where are you guys going? I'm like, oh no, didn't you hear? Everyone is going to Las Vegas for the music, since the DJ's left and everything. So everyone is walking to Las Vegas. You want to go? Let's go. This is where the problem started. This is when I should have known to stay home and not go anywhere. My aunt, we'll just call her aunt for the sake, and she was with Kay.
She's like, oh, okay, perfect. No, get in the car and then we'll drive there.
And we went back and forth for like 4 times, I think. Her saying,
get in the car, let's go. You guys get in the car, let's go. Me saying, no, we're walking. Lele and Lola are on the way. And she's like, no, we'll pick them up along the way, and then we'll get there faster. And so we'll manage to like maybe get ourselves a table, and we'll get ourselves some drinks, and we'll sit down, and you know, it won't be an awkward situation for us when all of us now arrive at once.
She sold me. I'm like, okay, cool. I want to sit down when I get there. I don't want to be standing. You understand? So me and Titi get in the car alongside my aunt and Kay, and we start to drive off. Lele and Lola on the way. Oh, great. Yes, come inside. Let's go. All of us drive down to Las Vegas, right? We get into Las Vegas. Just as she said, there's not a lot of people as yet, so we managed to get ourselves the table. She gets us like a whole cooler box of drinks. She puts it on the table, and we sit down and we enjoy the music, because that's what we came there for. So we sit in there having our drinks. Myself, my aunt, and Kay. Lolo and Lele used to go to school in our village, so they know more people than I do, so they're there socializing. I'm not minding them because I have what I came there for, the music. So we're just chilling with my aunt and Kay at this point, even then TT went away. We're chilling, we're having a good time. I'm seated like this, facing my aunt, and there's Kay. Behind me is another brother. We'll call him Zakaria. Malume Zakaria didn't want me to have peace that night. He takes the back of my chair, rotates it so that I face him, and he's trying to like make or hala or whatever he was trying to do. I tell him, I'm like, my guy, please don't do this. I'm not interested. I turn my chair back around and I continue and I face my aunt and my... Number one, that's very disrespectful, sir, because you're doing all of this in front of my aunt. He pulls it again. At this point in time, I pull it back like very aggressively because I'm getting annoyed because I just told you I'm not interested, don't do it. And then I'm like, sir, like, Zakaria, go to Zakaria. And then I turn the chair back around. Ooh, almost burned my coochie, child. And then he pulls it for the third time. And then at this point, but it wasn't on his cheek though. I could have sworn it wasn't on his cheek. I slapped, I think, his arm. I slapped it so hard. Everyone in the tavern, pub, whatever you want to call it, literally looked at us. But he deserved it, honestly. So when he did that, I smacked him so hard. Also, I've been drinking, so alcohol courage. So I smacked him so hard and I'm like, give a hey. So I guess that embarrassed him or whatever, and he stopped. We chill. And guess what? It's 2 a.m. Las Vegas is also closing. My cousins Lolo and Lele come around and they come with their friend who became my friend. We'll just call him Joe. I don't know. They come with Joe. And then Joe has been drinking. You can see that just as this person, he needs the bed. The music is off. What's the plan? Me, the genius with ideas. That night I had ideas to change the world, honestly. I'm like, okay, auntie, if you feel like you're not like too good to be driving, we can always just park the car there by the east and then walk to the north or to the south and go sleep, or even sleep at the east. These people don't want to go home.
So we went back and forth again, same as with the car earlier on that night. They didn't want to go home, so we went back and forth and they're like, no, instead let's go to Hollywood. I've been to Hollywood. I know what goes down in Hollywood. Hollywood is vibes.
You know, but the only time all of us or anyone there at the table has ever been to Hollywood was on the 31st. This is the 26th/27th of October.
I'm like, oh, okay, because I know how Hollywood is, child. I know it's vibes and everything. So I'm just like, okay, let's go to Hollywood.
The minute I stood up, I was sober the whole time. The minute I stood up, yes. So as we were around the car, these guys, I don't remember their faces, they saw in the car, they're trying to make or whatever, or what's going on, I don't know. And we're telling them no, like we're trying to drive somewhere. They gave us quite the hard time, but we did manage. We managed to get in the car and we drove off. Now driving off, I think there's a point where we got lost. I don't remember what was happening. Guys, I do not condone drinking and driving and anything that's been said in the story. It's a year ago, I was young, reckless. So yeah, just don't do what I did. We kind of got lost somewhere, so that took quite a bit of our time. And however, we finally managed to get ourselves on the main road that joins the two villages, because Hollywood is on that other village, so we have to go through that point where there are no houses and stuff. Cool. We finally get to the main road and we start to drive across to the other village. As we are right there in the middle, we can see that there are guys or there's like people, and I'd like to believe it's normal human behavior to move out of the way for a car that's oncoming. But yeah, we have different thoughts, me and these guys. We have different ideas on how things work because they did not move. So we obviously come to a halt or a stop and we're like, oh guys, what's going on? We roll down like our windows just enough to hear them and to talk to them or whatever. I'm not paying attention to the guy who came to my window. I'm paying more attention to the one diagonally from me who was talking to Lolo, I think. And what he was saying, Lolo tells me the next morning, this guy was saying stuff like, we think we're better, like just simply because we don't want to like talk to them or have no form of interest in them. It bothered them. So they saw an opportunity to like, surround the car at that point in time and address the situation. 2 a.m. in the morning, in the middle of nowhere. We left all our phones. We're helpless. What did I call him? Joe. Joe is passed out. I didn't know Joe was in the car until we'll get to the point. TT also stayed behind. So
whoever talks to whoever finally talks to them, and they come to some form of agreement for them to get out the road so that we can have like our passage into the other village.
We pick up speed and we drive off like normal human beings until we hear a bang. So we look back. There's no windshield. These guys stoned the car. Like next to your windshield, Lena. So when that happens, we all go on panic and adrenaline mode, and my aunt speeds off, and then we drive into the village just a little. We maneuver into the village just a little so that we are not there by the road, because they're coming behind us. We don't know what else they want to do to us, you understand? So until at some point we stopped, and then we all got out of the car. This is where I saw that Joe was still alive and with us. So we all get out of the car and we were all panicking. I think the brake was even in, I don't remember, but I think it hit and then the brake like fell onto the, this back part of the car. Yeah, I think that happened. So now we're panicking. Oh my goodness, there's no phones. We have no way to get in contact with our family that side of the village. We're in the side of the village where these boys stay. So they know the village, number one. And if anything ever went down, it's their territory, you understand? We're coming up with ideas. No, let's park the car somewhere and like walk back. We'll walk through the forest, because I guess there are no houses, so it's bushes leading into forest. So we'll go back through the forest. We'll somehow find our way back to the main road and like back home. It's 2 a.m. Apollo like they get one saying it's dark. So we're all thinking of these things. No, let's knock somewhere and like ask them to like stay over for the night, and we'll deal with everything in the morning. As we are talking about this, and this one is saying this one is saying that, my cousin Lele and Joe are speaking bull crap. So I apparently, guys, I'm not proud of this, but I apparently smacked them like this. Like there's no more embarrassing slap than this one. Like this. By someone who's younger than you. So apparently I slapped them like that like 2-3 times. I think I removed my eyebrow, Luna. Yo. I eventually calmed down and we were able to hear each other again. And then while we're there trying to talk, we hear guy voices coming from where we just came from. And obviously our first thought is, oh my goodness, it's those guys coming to finish off what they started. Me, Lele and Lolo were like, guys, let's run. So we're telling my aunt Kay and Joe, guys, let's run. We'll deal with this. Let's just be safe first. Everyone is panicking. No, but the car, but this. As soon as the voices come closer, me, Lolo and Lele, the 3 musketeers bounced. Mabati balega. Guys, we balegaed from that place. We're all intoxicated. We're in an area we don't know. We didn't know what to do, so we started home hopping. Like we jump into the fence, go through the yard, jump out. We did that for so many houses. We did that for like a good 30-45 minutes, just house hopping. At some point we found ourselves in Hollywood. Guess what was going on in Hollywood, guys? There was nobody. There were donkeys feeding off of the grass. Go Hollywood, because it's just so empty. I think it only opens once a year, or it's closed forever, I don't know. But there was no sign of life at that place. We risked all of our lives for that. So there's no one. We're like, Hollywood. So no one. Okay, sharp. Continued house hopping. Please imagine you closing your window at night and you see 3 girls house. This is so, why am I telling you guys this? This is so embarrassing. But since we're celebrating 400, we're house hopping, and we finally get to a place where there are no more houses. That means for the houses that we had passed going into that village, we have now went back to like the start of the village, right? The other side of the village. So that means if we can find the road now, we're going back home. You understand? I hope that's clear enough. But now we can't use the main road because those guys might still be on the road. So we have to maneuver through the shrubs and the forests and whatever. We probably stepped on snakes. Oh my goodness. But we have to maneuver not on the actual main road, but just close by. That way, when we see that we've covered that main road where there are no houses, we can just jump and then we are in our territory. We know what where is, and we could fend for ourselves should they still be there or should anything happen. I'm talking so much, I forgot I had coffee. So yeah, me, Lolo and Lele maneuver through our village, our territory, until we make our way to the south. When we got to the south, we went to my aunt's room and we passed the hell out. We didn't want to talk to anyone. We passed out. Now, me, I remember us waking up at 10 a.m. Apparently, what I heard when I woke up at 10 a.m. I was up before that. So at around 6, 7, apparently me, when I wake up in panic mode because I'm like, shoot, now we have to, number one, find my aunt, find Kay, find Joe, right? Number two, we have to go to the elders, my parents and our uncle and our aunts, and tell them what had happened, because now they have to get involved. It's not a we can solve it type thing. It's a big thing, you understand? There's a car and all of that. It has to be solved by the elders and hopefully the elders of the village. So I wake my cousins up and I'm like, yo guys, shoot, we have to go to the north because we slept in the south. They're like, oh yeah, we're getting ready. While we're doing that, my aunt comes in. She's like, and then and I'm like, how? Mama Holo, what's so Baba? She's like, yeah, I know. Get it, so yeah, we have to go and tell my mom, because yes, that's one tricky part. We have to go and tell my mom. And then she's like, no, your mom knows. Your mom was here you spoke to your mom. I'm like, what? None of us remember this part, or at least I don't know, at least I don't. But apparently at like 6-7 a.m. My mom and my aunt's mom, they came to question us and we spoke to them, and I don't remember this because so apparently when they were there asking us questions, apparently I was responding in English, very deep English, you know, corporate English. Apparently that's the type of things I was saying when they were asking us questions, and they were like, we're taking Robal, and then they turned to Lele and no Lolo and then asked her, apparently now Abu Spitori or Sepedi Lene, she was just speaking a foreign language. Guys, this is so embarrassing. And none of us remember this, but we already went through what we were afraid we were gonna go through. You know, they already knew, and they got mad. Apparently my aunt was, Lena, my aunt, if there's one character on TV who's exactly like my aunt, Mama Cobra, and everyone on the river, she's exactly like that. So Waprata, exactly like that. So imagine me being Cobra to her. It was a movie, for sure. It was a movie. I just don't remember it. But thank God they already knew, so that part was out the way. Now it was just on us to, you know, make sure everyone is fine, and hopefully talk to my aunt and Kay and Joe, find out where Joe is and where Joe because it was just too drunk to run, you understand? But yeah guys, I'm sure you guys, please don't judge me and say you ran and left your the option was there. We had been discussing it, number one, you understand? I laugh about it now, but at the moment, at that time, it was very serious. Like, it wasn't a laughing matter at all. What happened with those boys? I think I know the name of the one who stoned the car. What I think happened is the mother of that boy is one of those mothers who will protect their child at any cost. So whatever the child did, she'll cover up for him. So I think it was one of those situations. But yeah, this is the story of how we got stoned and chased through the village. Chased. They did chase us though, according to me. But yeah guys, I hope you guys don't encounter such a thing during the festive. Happy Vlogmas, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and leave something nice because I read every single one of my comments, and I'll see you guys on my next upload.